Hi everyone, and
Huh?
welcome to Portal
Portal
to the Paranormal.
Paranormal Thriller.
Wow, Thursday.
Thriller Thursday, we got it.
Yeah. I'm Sarah.
I'm Rosie.
This evening we do have a very special guest, but she is not here quite yet. She's just about to log on. Sorry. But what we'll do, we're going to talk about what happened last weekend for a little bit, shall we? While we're waiting.
Last
Wimmering
weekend.
Manor.
Wimmering Manor.
It was a crazy weekend.
It was indeed.
Yeah, some stuff went down on the table, did a bit of table tipping, and we had this vibrating box, and it was just tapping on top, and the lights were going, and all the guests were going crazy, wasn't they?
Yeah, we've got some footage on our Facebook page. So Portal to the Paranormal obviously is on our Facebook page. Our big bearded boss man and Lauren has taken the footage from the live cams at night, shortened them down, and you can see some light anomalies, and you can hear. We won't say what we can hear, but go and put your comments in to see what you can hear. It's fantastic
what you've got. Anyway, Our guest is here, so we'll bring her on, shall we? We have got all the way from New Jersey. We have got Taryn. I don't think I've said that right, but we'll find out when I bring her on. And to stream. We in?
Hello.
We are.
Hello.
Hi guys, how are you? How are you?
Gosh, we're so excited. Yeah, great to see you.
So looking forward to this one. I love it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect.
Yep.
Am I echoing or anything?
Check okay?
No echo from my end.
Okay, good. How are y'all?
Oh, good. Yeah. All the better for seeing you.
I have a question. Am I the only one that brought tea to this party?
Yeah, you did. I brought a bottle of water.
I did water because there's gonna be a lot of talking involved.
That's for sure.
You've gone all British on us. I love it.
It was worth the extra minute. I'm sorry. I was like,
perfect. We love it.
Oh, it's okay. What was going to say? We want to know all about you, Taryn. We've been so excited about this interview, honestly. You're from New Jersey.
Yes,
Rosie, you do the best New Jersey accent. Go on, put one out.
I don't know. New Jersey?
Coffee?
From Jersey, water, coffee.
You gotta go get a cup of coffee, but today she's got some tea.
You got any cannolis?
Yes, yeah. Cannolis and pizza and all that good stuff.
Oh, love it.
Pizza and cannoli.
How far away from New York are you? Are you far?
No, not that far. I mean, from the border, probably we're about an hour and a half to almost 2 hours.
Right. That's not too far then. Is it good enough for when we do a road trip, Sarah?
Yeah, I want to do the New England trip. We're going to talk about that.
You guys can skip Jersey. There's really nothing to see here. So
we'll pick you up on the way. We'll pick you up on the way and we'll do that.
Absolutely. We could do that. I would love to meet you ladies.
Oh, with you too.
So we want to know all about you, Taryn. And what has New Jersey, which you've just clarified, doesn't have to offer, but where do you go ghost hunting and everything?
New Jersey, wow. So there are places in New Jersey that we can ghost hunt, but nothing really cool like you guys have over there. I mean, the stuff you guys have over there is like amazing. I'm a little jealous that Brian's going there and being able to experience all that stuff. But it's I tell him I can be jealous of that, and he can be jealous of that I was nominated one of the best podcasts of 2021, and he wasn't. So
well done! Congratulations!
Wow. So you Paranormal Brew, is that your podcast? Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah. So Paranormal Brew kind of I started in 2017. It started out just being on almost like an internet radio type streaming, and I said, this isn't fun. I like to see people. I like to interact with people. I like to, I'm a social butterfly. So I've learned about. Let me see something. Is that good?
Better.
Or is that worse?
It's like some ticking noises.
Okay. So I started it because, I was a part of the groups, and there was just so much political drama. It just wasn't for me. I'm not about it, So me and another group member decided we're going to start something because, we thought about it after we would have these like internet shows or the internet radio. We would just talk for a couple hours. And I'm like, why are we not still recording these conversations? Because these are the best conversations that we're having, And I'm like, and I just said some smart stuff that I'm not going to remember what I said, But anyway, so it ended up being I discovered Facebook Live, and from there, at first I was with a couple of people that were helping me out, and doing it with me, and then I just wound up by myself because I thought Paranormal Brew was legit like my heart and my baby. Like I wanted to really push this, and I think it was because my focus for the reason of the show changed. It became more about because the show started coming out where everything was a demon and everything's bad, everything's negative. And I noticed that a lot more of our private clients were calling because they were thinking every little thing in their house was nasty, demonic. They want to kill us. They were scared. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. He's telling me that Brian said I have to turn it off. I have that on. Is that better?
Oh no, that's echoing.
Echo.
Hello.
Rosie.
Is that better?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know where he's. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. There's like a whirring noise in the background, but it sounds good.
This has
I'm echoing.
This one's worse.
What if we unmic ourselves? I just unmiked myself.
No. You guys are fine, I think. Oh, he's saying that sounds better. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you do sound better.
Echo.
You do sound better.
Rosie, echo? I don't know what he's saying.
I think, was I on an echo? I'm on echoing. I'm echoing now.
You're echoing now.
Yeah.
How about we just stick with this? Is that better for you guys?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Is it echoing your end of it?
It sounds like Rosie is echoing. It sounds better, but there's an echo. It may be worth muting when not talking.
Okay.
So anyway, I forget where the heck I was. My ADD. So the show started coming out, and we were getting more people like contacting us. Like they would say, "Oh, a ghost tried to, a demon tried pushing me down the steps." Okay, well, why do you think it's a demon? Because it tried hurting me. And I said, well, trust me, if there's something there that you can't see and it wanted to push you down the steps, you would have went flying down them steps. Right. And I tell them all the time, I say, I tell clients all the time, I always use the movie Ghost as an example with Patrick Swayze, where when he first passes and he knows he's dead and he's in the subway and he is trying to kick the can. I don't know if you remember that part. And he just keeps on trying to kick it, and he can't do it. And then finally he just uses all of his energy and he's able to kick it and it goes flying across the subway. Now, if I was standing on the other end of that and I got hit in the head with a can, I would be like, what the heck just happened, right? But I try to explain to clients, like sometimes their energy, and it's a theory, right? We don't know for sure 100%. However, sometimes, their energy, if they're trying to get your attention and you can't, and you're not feeling it, eventually they're going to get frustrated and be like, yo, it's going to feel like they're pushing you because they're going to use a little bit more energy, to get your attention. So like I said, my idea for the show kind of changed at that point, because then I wanted to have a show where I would have a weekly guest, and I wanted people to hear and learn what really goes on in the real world, not TV land. Because all I kept picturing were like these 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds that were watching these shows and thinking, and they're watching, I apologize, please, I have my opinions, I'm allowed, but you see Zach Baggins running around saying, throw something at me, and, oh my God, it wants to kill Zach, and this and that. These 13-year-olds are going to see this and think that's how they're supposed to investigate, and that's how it's supposed to be, and that's what's supposed to happen. And you can't do that.
No. You have to be respectful.
And that is one thing that he is not.
Yeah.
So, and at first the show was ghost, paranormal ghost groups and this and that, which I still do interview. But then I wanted to expand my horizon because I wanted to learn. I didn't know anything about Bigfoot. I didn't know anything about UFOs. I didn't know anything about anything else. So I started to have guests on, that researched Bigfoots and UFOs, and I had a guy on that an author that researches Men in Black type of situations, which is so cool. That was like one of my favorite interviews. And there's so much out there, and thankfully, aside from maybe one or two, definitely one, but two, most of my guests are very educated and well versed in what it is that they research. So I learn a lot. And then I have my favorites. When you look back, you'll see there's the same people kind of every couple months, or, this and that, because you can never get enough, right? Mm-hmm. You talk to them and you're like, no, I want to know more. Let's talk more about all this.
Chase that dragon, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So it started to grow, and I started to get a little bit more page likes, and I started to reach out, and then I started to not be shy about who I would ask. After I got over, I did ask somebody that's on TV, and I'm not going to say who, but I said, I have this little rinky dink show, can you come on it, and he wrote back, I'll have my agent contact you, let you know how much it's going to cost.
Oh,
I said, yeah, no, that's okay.
And you like to do it as a paranormal family, as a community. You help one another out. That's
you would
what
think, and you would think people like that don't forget where they came from.
Exactly, they came from down here as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And after that, because that was kind of like I had that situation, and then I did have somebody tell me, look, I don't do them anymore. So I the fear of rejection kind of I was just like, F it. So I started asking everybody. And I would have to say 2021 was probably the best year that I had as guest go, and coming up into this year as well. Jason Hawes was on my show.
Nice.
November 24th. And to me, that was a big one.
That's a big one.
It was the best one because we actually sat on there and said, what you see on TV is not the real deal. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
Unlike any other show, Ghost Hunters, they do try to keep it as normal, or as real as they can, because Jason, prides himself on the integrity of his group.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan of his, and he's a friend of mine now, and we kind of bounce stuff off. I bounce stuff off him all the time. I'll message him, be like, oh my God, Ghost Hunters yesterday was so awesome, So he was amazing. And then, as time went on, there was a bad situation that happened. We won't bring it up. You guys know.
Yeah.
There was somebody in our community that was not, and I had him on my show. And
we did as well.
Yeah. Yes. And, at first I was so angry and worried about my fellow podcasters and the people that he's on the show, and he's going on the show. I mean, I was so worried about everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I was blessed that this actually happened because of the people that I met because of this.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah.
Brian,
it's made us wiser as well.
Yeah, makes you wiser. It's a learning curve. Every day is a learning curve.
Yeah.
And something like that is just, like you said, like as I said at the beginning, you become a unit and a paranormal family, and that just makes us a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So everything happens for a reason, I say.
Absolutely.
So.
And that's the thing. Then I meet Brian from Huntophobia and Parapost, and not that I didn't know him, I was already streaming on Parapost Network, But as we worked together, we realized, we worked together very well, and little by little, he's like, okay, I want to start this Facebook page and just have everybody stream all their shows on it. At first, I was like, what do you mean? There's going to be time cuts? Like, so somebody's going to be on when I'm on? That's like, I'm not trying to compete with anybody. It's kind of, he goes, no. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to help each other.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really smart when you think about it, especially when you come up to in a situation like what we had initially.
Yeah.
Because all these podcasts are on this one page or this one platform. And to be like, if Robert Riggy was on my show and then I saw you guys had one coming up, you'd be like, oh, no. It's right there.
You can reach us quicker. You can reach each other quicker and inform them of something.
Yeah.
I branched out to where you guys are at, right? The UK, right? Yeah. So
we can see you commenting, and it was just going so fast. And I'm thinking, I'm like, I can't read it really. I can't read that fast.
And we had somebody commenting as well. We had someone commenting saying that he was a liar and things like that, and we just thought they were just being horrible. We didn't realise that they were actually telling the truth.
Oh yeah.
We apologised after.
Yes.
Yeah. So March 9th, I'm going to have a show with one of my friends who was really, because I kind of felt responsible for, even though he had already been, making his way through the shit, I still felt kind of responsible. I mean, one, I want to say, do your research on your guests.
Yeah.
Anybody that you have on, do your research, because there is an agenda or an ulterior motive for people like that do what they're doing, and whatever it is.
I think what found it harder over here was, obviously, if you type his name in, the only things that start coming up at the top of Google is your podcasts. And you start listening to a couple of them, but obviously you tend to go to like the third, fourth link of Google. You don't tend to go down to like the second page where you now do that, and it's like, oh, there's the red flag. But at the beginning, it was like there was no, and I think that's probably why we found it easier to hit the UK guys, because it was harder to call him out.
And Ted Bundy character.
Yeah.
So, and this is no offense to the UK, but we have different rules, we have different laws, we have different this. So why would you guys question anything he's saying?
Exactly.
You wouldn't know any better, right?
Yeah.
No. And that's not. I'm not being
rude. Yeah, I feel kind of like silly in one way, but actually, do you know what? I don't feel like suckered in, or I don't feel like an idiot. I just feel sorry for him. I feel like the things that he was saying on that, and it left us, because normally we have everything to talk about, so it left us like this. So he knew we didn't have the chance to come back with an answer or think about what he's actually saying.
Well, I was a bit sickened, because he said he didn't want to talk too much about it, and then he just went into the gruesome shit quite a lot, and I was like, I need a bucket.
Because like yourself, you said with Brian, the podcast you did with Brian the other day, that he was sending you pictures of the children, and that's what he was doing with myself.
Yeah, he was.
And he had this I 2:00 in the morning. I don't sleep much, so obviously you guys in America keep me alive when I can't sleep. And he was just sending me pictures of his house and the snow, and that he's had all these children.
You, wasn't he, Rosie?
Pardon?
I felt he was really befriending you, and I felt so sorry that he got suckered in like that.
He was doing the same thing to everybody, sending everybody pictures and this and that. He just kind of, that's what it is. It's like he breaks down the barriers, of trust, where it's like, oh, he's criminal profile with the police and the FBI and this and that for 35 years. Okay, that's one barrier broken. Like if you work for the police, he's not such a bad guy, right? Oh, he's a a shaman. He's there's like a whole list of stuff.
Whole list of stuff.
Whole list. So yeah, I mean, do your research. But on March 9th, I continued to up until this day. I'm still research. Like I'm listening to podcasts and I'm writing down things that he said that are different. And so is my friend Kenny. And Kenny actually is a skeptic. He works for Skeptical Inquirer, and they give him, his job is to basically, expose people for things that, so he has access to a lot more stuff than I do.
Wow.
And he actually has uncovered a lot of stuff. And so on my March 9th show, I am going to put it to bed, but I do want to make that a public apology to the community. But also, I want to say this is what we found. These are facts. Now I wouldn't have done this. However, he's denying being arrested. He's trying to say that he has an attorney, so he's not allowed to talk about it. So that's how he's going to get out of answering anybody's questions.
We deleted his podcast and we've put it swept it under the table, and we just carry on moving forward.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So with that whole situation and talking to so many people, I became friends with so many wonderful people, so many awesome people, and I'm like, wow, there's this whole community of podcasters that I've never been a part of before.
We're dinosaurs. We didn't realize we were podcasting. We thought we were just having online chats, and then we realized actually it's called a podcast. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I mean, and I think that this is it opened up a whole new road for me, because before all this, I'm a paranormal investigator, but I have a show once a week. Now I'm like, no, I want to be involved with all these. I love all these podcasters and watching the shows, and you never know. So now today, Brian made me a co-owner of Parapost Network, and which is very, it's a big job, and not taking care of the network, keeping somebody happy. You know what I mean? I say that lovingly. And then he admin for his Hunophobia page, but I also am third owner of BB3 TV, which BB3 TV is another streaming network for podcasts. So, but that is actually a scheduled one. It's different. It's just like, okay, you guys want to come over, you guys schedule at this time, and it could be your normal scheduled time show.
Yes,
that it's more, structured a little bit, and not that Parapost Network isn't structured. I like the two separate ideas. Yeah, I like both. So it's fun. I mean, and aside from that, my show streams on a couple of other networks. That I'm not involved with the upper stuff. Yeah. So it's taken me on a journey that I absolutely love.
It's awesome.
Wow.
I think Sarah's got a saying that you've got your finger in.
Paranormal pies. All these paranormal pies you got your fingers in.
I know. And what I love is March is Women in History Month.
Nice.
So I've been really trying to, and especially March, I'm definitely going to promote my women, that are in this field, and promote women that really make a difference. And you guys are amazing. I watch your show. You guys are so adorable.
Thanks. We get a bit nervous. I must admit, I really suffer from stage fright big time. That's hence I got the pen to twiddle with. It's a real issue sometimes. And Rosie's my wingman. We're wingman, aren't we? We edge each other on. She's my aunt and Deck, or my pitter to my kebab. And
well, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it.
Thank you. I'm twiddling away here.
We're together. Normally we are together there. But no, Sarah's son decided to go and get COVID, so I'm not going round.
Oh, no.
Bless him.
We're all negative for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank God. It's really, it sucks because it's like you get a sniffle and everybody freaks out. And I'm like,
you sneeze in the middle of a supermarket and it's like everyone's staring at you like, I'm like, no, I'm fine. Just run away.
Like,
old Boz has decided just to let us all run wild and catch it now because we're all
Yeah,
vaccinated.
we're all out
so
into everything.
survival of the fittest at the moment.
right. And we're and us in Jersey are like, oh, masks, forget about it. You know, it's like you just want to. Nobody cares anymore. You know, you just want to get. We're over it.
Normal. Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So
Right.
Taryn,
Yeah.
when you go out ghost busting, should I say,
Yeah.
have you ever seen a full-on MFG? And I've got a feeling that Gettysburg might be in there somewhere as well because I've been stalking you.
Oh, Gettysburg. That we could have 3 shows about Gettysburg. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania is a very special place, and yes, it's very haunted. My first time I went to Gettysburg was 2007. Prior to 2007, I did not even prior to 2009. I didn't really get into the paranormal until 2009, but 2007 was my first visit to Gettysburg, and I had an experience there. And I was like, wow, that wasn't that bad. Okay, I want to know more. The next night, now the first night it was just, we signed up to go on one of these. They have these like candlelight ghost tours, and they also have something that you could go with the group for a couple of hours and use their equipment. I had no idea what I was doing, what I was using, because I knew nothing, you know. My mom was the one. My mom drove me to Gettysburg, and she was like, I want to do this ghost thing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm thinking it's going to be cheesy because it's like, you know. And I experienced something that I've never done. I'm standing there, and one side of my body was probably, they used a temperature thing. One side of my body was 50 degrees, which this is summertime. I was there. The other side was like 90 something degrees. So to feel that such difference on both sides of my body was strange. I thought, I'm like, am I having a panic attack? Like, what's happening? Right? And I said to them, I said, I'm not feeling too good. I said, I don't know what's happening. I'm like, well, I'm not feeling good. And they, run over. They're like, oh, what's wrong with that? I said, I'm freezing cold over here. You can see the goosebumps, the air cold. I said, I'm sweating over here. So they start doing the next experiments and stuff, and they started EVP session. And when the people came near me, I went back to normal. Like everything was same temperature. But every time I was I would feel this cold. So the woman that was running the team, she was, I'm wondering, she was, I'm just going to ask a question. Do you like her? You know? And then we listened to that. And when it said that, do you like her? You heard a male voice say, no, I love her. And I was like, again, I wasn't into the paranormal. I was like, who the fuck said that? Can I I'm sorry. But who
You're
said
fine.
that? I do that all the time. I'll say the curse word and then I go, can I curse? It's just
the F-bomb is fine.
But I, like, at first I was like, how did that happen? Who said that? Who did that? Who said it? I was freaking out, and they're like, nobody said it. And then, and I was like, okay, I said, that really wasn't that bad, And the next night, like I said, me and my mom were in our car, and you used to be able to be in the park until 10 o'clock at night. 9:45, she's wanting to get out of the car to go walk in this field, the wheat field. She wants to go talk to Doug. I said, bye.
Bye.
Even though the night before I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. I was like, I'm not getting out and going in that dark. I'm not going nowhere.
I'm skipping into the wilderness and in the dark.
And she's like, come on. I was like, you can go. I'm staying. Right? I said, I'll lock the doors. I'll lock the door when you're coming back. We'll be fine. And all of a sudden, we smelled this like nasty smell. And I was like, what is that? I said, it smells like fart. And I said, did you fart? She's like, no, but you did. And then on her window, it was boom, 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 something hard. just like hit the window 3 times, and it sounded like something plastic or like not like a hand, but it sounded like something hard. And I took off.
Was it gone?
Well, you left your mum?
No. She was sitting in the car still. It knocked on her side of the window, and the window shut. And as soon as that happened, I didn't even care. I took off. And she said, "Where are you going? I want to get out and talk." I said, "Drop and roll." I said, "Drop and roll. I'll be back. I'll be at the end waiting for you." No.
Brilliant.
So after that, Gettysburg. Actually, I was grudgingly taken there too. I did not want to go, but I fell in love with it. So I started booking trip after trip after trip. And as I was going there, there were, people that I would meet, and I went to Phenomenology for the first time. It was like a ghost big paracon that we had at Gettysburg, and I went by myself. I didn't care. I mean, I love Gettysburg so much. I could be there for a week and by myself and just have a blast. And there was a guy there that, had this ghost hunting group and was like, "Come on, please join my group. And I'm like, no. Finally I said yes to the guy. And
what's a paranormal bug?
Yeah. And I said, okay, fine. Now that was 3 months of intense training before I was deemed, I guess, an investigator, and so it was field training. There was a written test. There was, we did all kinds of training. In between that, we did lectures at libraries. We did all of the month of October. I was never home. It was lectures and events at historic locations, money. And from there, I made my way up to co-director of that group.
Well done.
But like I said, I don't like the politics in it, so after that.
Did you take guests out with you?
What happened?
Did you take guests out with you, like members of the public, like we do?
Yeah. Yep. A lot of times we would, so the places that we would have these events at are the places that we would investigate throughout the year. So we would collect evidence and that. And then when we would have these events, there were different stations that people could go to.
Yeah.
So you walk in here and you sit down and it's an equipment demonstration for 10 minutes. And then you move. And in here, we're showing a video of all of our evidence that we got at that place that you're at.
Right.
And then you go over here and there's a mini investigation going on.
Right.
You go back in this room and there's a mini EVP session going on. So the public, they enjoy it, and
you want to go for the ghost hunt.
Right.
You want to get down and dirty.
Absolutely. So, and that's how it started. Did I answer your question? Or are you asking me you did ask me one of the.
Did you take guests out? Yeah.
The what?
I was just Sarah said obviously that do you take guests out like we did? So yeah, that's where you would obviously go with guests.
Yeah. But I mean, Sarah, originally your question, because I go off.
It was about if you've seen a ghost.
Have I seen a ghost?
Gettysburg was in with that because there's a lot going on there. Didn't you see a soldier?
So I did not see him.
Okay.
He showed up in my picture. In my picture after.
Wow.
I take scenery pictures when I go there, and I hate when there's people, cars, street signs. So I was if there's people in there, I always wait for them to go. So I was taking this picture on the railroad cut. Everybody was on the other side of it. There was nobody on this side of it because I wanted just scenery.
Yeah.
And there he was afterwards. And I wasn't even the one that saw it. I put the SD card in my computer. I was there with my girlfriend at the time. She was there for a week. And I'm scrolling through the photos. And she's like, what the heck is that? Go back. She's like, when we were on that bridge, there was nobody on that railroad.
Oh, brilliant.
So I see it. And I was like, oh, wow. And I gave the photo to a couple of people that live in Gettysburg that are historians, but also authors for Paranormal, Ghosts of Gettysburg, Mark Nesbitt. And then there was an International Museum of Spirit Investigations that was there at the time. It's no longer there, but I gave them the photo. And it took them about a year to get back to me. And I was fine with that because I did not want to put this picture out there without it being analyzed somehow.
And validated that,
Because I don't know how to use editing anything. I don't know how to edit pictures. I don't know how to edit audio. I only know how to crop.
Yeah.
You know, and I only know how to like put the parts of audio out that I need.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know. I don't know Photoshop. I don't know how to do anything.
No, we're total as our kids. Well, the teenagers over here call us boomers, so it means we're old and we don't know what
they
we're
know
doing.
nothing.
I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to do anything. So I captured this, and finally they got back to me, and they said they're 99.8 because you can never say 100%. 99.8% that you have captured an apparition of a Confederate soldier.
Awesome.
Officer as on top of that, because the picture looks like he's wearing a long coat. So that's how the officers would dress. To me, he looks Union, but they swear the people have said it's Confederate. But it is hanging up in Mark Nesbitt's store now. On his ghostly images wall, and it's actually in Brian Cano's traveling history of the paranormal mobile exhibit.
Right.
1866, there was a Civil War battle there, wasn't it? They accidentally
1863.
come up on 1863. Sorry. And they come up on each other by accident. Then they ran back, got their mates, and they all started beating and killing. And
it's crazy how
would have been.
Absolutely. It's crazy when you think about what actually all the accidents that happened in that town, just in that town, which happened to be the turning point for the Union during the Civil War, Gettysburg. I mean, that's when they started to win. It sucks that the war lasted another 2 years, but Gettysburg, there were a couple of things that happened there that weren't supposed to happen. And had they had happened, we would be living in a different world today. So to me, Gettysburg is the heartbeat of our nation. I'm a very patriotic person. And so when I go there, it's definitely it's my cleansing. It's my cleansing spot. My natural Xanax, if you will.
Nice.
We always say to our guests that everyone has a certain amount of psychic ability and like a sixth sense, would you say? Do you have anything like that you feel that you can tune into spirit or
clairaudient?
So
I hear disembodied voices, which get validated. I'll say I hear it, and then when you listen back, you hear it, and then I say I hear it. You know what I mean? And so it validates, and it's not all the time. It's, maybe once in an investigation, or, if I'm allotted time and I like to lay down on the floor of the places. I don't care how dirty it is. I don't give a shit. I like to lay down, close my eyes, and just listen. Listen to the location I'm at, everything, that's the noises. And I do that for 10 minutes. And if I do that, I'm able to pick up on certain, it starts with, I feel like it's a female. And then in my head, I get a picture. I've never seen it, but I'll get a picture in my head. Sometimes I get an actual, it's crazy. There's a place around here called Gabriel Davies Tavern. And I did that. And the name, I have it somewhere, but it was a weird name that started with a Z. That's not normal.
Right.
And I said that this woman looks crazy. She has white dress on, and like her hair's all over the place. Like her name starts with a Z. And then I said the name. And while we were on a break, we were already there for 2 hours. And then we took a break. And they had some artifacts downstairs. And I started looking at them. I didn't look at them for him. And there is a picture of the woman I saw in my head. There was a picture of this woman, and on the back it was the name that I said, the word Z name.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Myself out.
That's brilliant, though.
Yeah, but yeah, like that doesn't happen very often.
At the time, you're like, holy cow. That's brilliant, though.
Yeah. So, so I would say I'm clear. I can usually tell, I can usually feel, you get that intuition, that gut feeling, like you feel like you're being watched, or you feel like there's something there.
Yeah.
But I literally, I probably could if I allowed myself, but I don't. I go to a location, I'm more of the investigator type. Like I'm looking for reasons why things are being claimed to have happened. I hate when you go somewhere like a historical place and they're already telling you, oh, we think it's the ghost of Mary and she's been this and that. And
No, we don't do that.
Don't play in the scene.
Yeah.
We
don't do that with our guests either.
Yeah.
We don't tell them nothing about the location, and then little bits come together through the ghost box, through the Ouija board, and they're the investigators.
They
and
ask us all through the night. Yeah.
When we come through at the end and we do all the wash up, all the information comes out from all the different groups that we've got. We usually section up into like 3 or 4 groups and have different locations and then switch them around. And then the evidence that we collect, sometimes it really does tally up with the history of the place. And it's like, wow, big wow moment there.
And it's awesome. And, a lot of times when you do big events, you're really not expecting to have too much come out of them, evidence-wise. At least that's been my experience, except with Penhurst Society. And that's also in Pennsylvania. Penhurst, so I'm a part of it's called Ghostly Explosions. They are a paranormal event team, and they put together these huge things for people to come to. And Penhurst Paracon was one of them. There was 2 that we had, and we had groups of people, and I've gotten from guests, not myself, but I've gotten guests send me pictures of. I was with a girl down there in one of the tunnels, and nobody else was there. We heard he would sound like heel. So I just looked at her. And I looked at the guest. I was like, take a picture. Take a picture.
Yeah.
She took a picture, and we finished with our tour in the one tunnel. And as I'm taking them out, she goes, "Look at the picture I got," and it looks like those old school nurses that would have like those hats, and they wore the dresses, and they had down like a shadow. It's like down that end of the hall, and there's really nothing. There's a wall. That's it.
There's nothing that created. So yeah, it's unexplained.
Yeah. So I tend to think that like the places that you feel drawn to, or places that you eventually, like after going, you're drawn to. I feel like, the spirits there, the energy, whatever you want to call it, kind of are more comfortable to come out. Yeah. Penhurst I was drawn to before I ever went there. And that's the only place that I've ever been like that with. Long story short, I was supposed to go there twice, fell through, I was angry. Finally get there. In the meantime, I'm doing my ancestry. I'm trying to find, people, whatever. So I'm like doing both, whatever. And for some reason, I'm like so drawn there. We get there. I had a couple of experiences, personal experiences. And I actually saw what looks like, I don't know if you ever saw Predator. So Predator, the one part in the movie where Predator's see-through. He's in the jungle, and the guy shoots him, and you can see him then. So that jelly waterish like thing, I saw like a couple of kids in the playground, but they looked like that.
Whoa. Oh, wow. That's brilliant.
Which was odd.
Yeah.
But I connected with a family member probably 6 or 7 months after that. And she informed me that I had a first cousin that was a resident there.
Oh, wow.
when it was open. She said that he was there his whole life until he was 18, and then he was transferred out to Hamburg State Hospital. So the fact that I had a family member there, I think that's what was drawing me. I don't think the experiences that I had there, or the things that I've caught on audio and camera or whatever, have anything to do with him.
Yeah.
I just think that connection is what was drawing me there.
Yeah.
Connection and places. I've always said if you feel uncomfortable, that's the best place to be. If you feel like you go to sleep, don't go in there, but always feel where you're drawn to as well.
Yeah.
Go with your gut instinct and your mind, because your body is the most powerful thing, and it will tell you everything that you need to know. You just got to listen to the signals.
I felt a bit like that in New York. I always tell my husband I got pigeon radar because I can find my way out of a paper bag.
I know where Tiffany's is. That's it. That's my favorite. That's my favorite store. I love that store.
I would love to go to New York just for it. I've never been to New York, so definitely Tiffany's and anything food.
Food, yeah. The food
could be amazing.
Good. The food's good, in Jersey and Philly and New York, but it's not good enough to make me want to stay.
What's your favorite bit of equipment?
My next question, that was.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. You go for it.
My recorder. My digital recorders are my favorite piece of equipment. And then after that would be myself. It's rare you're going to get a photo. I have the one apparition photo in all the years I've been investigating, and I have a missed photo that was taken with a full spectrum camera. Now, I do love my full spectrum camera, but I use it just to take pictures, like not expecting to get anything.
Yeah.
If I do, great.
Yeah. It's an added bonus.
Yeah. It takes such great photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it. I'm not a big fan. I have I have a train that's a trigger prop, because a train to me is easier to tell somebody, because a lot of the places that we investigate in are 200 years old.
Yeah. So it would have been trams or trains. Yeah.
Right. You put a REM pod down. How do you tell somebody from the 1860s?
They're going to look at that and
go touch that brown black thing that's whatever. Everybody knows what a train is.
And it's got a red light on it. Red is danger. Don't go near it.
Right. So if I have a train, I'm just like, oh, can you touch the train? It's so much easier.
Yeah.
I have a dog. Well, it's my best friend's dog. I'm getting a cat, but I have her dog. That's also, it's a trigger prop. So it's easy to say, can you touch it? Dogs have been around forever. Cats have been around forever. But I don't. The only other thing that I just started getting interested in is the DRV. It's almost like. Because I'm not a fan of the ghost boxes and the spirit boxes and stuff like that. I feel like they're just too easily debunked, because it could be it's bouncing off of radio waves. They used one the other night where we were at a place called Kreischer Mansion, and that's in Staten Island, New York. And I heard Michael Jackson. I was like, when? It's got Michael. We got MJ.
He's here.
No,
but this DRV is a lot different. It uses a frequency where there's no radio waves are using this frequency, and so it's just white noise.
Yeah,
and you plug it into a portal box, is what he called it. And all of a sudden you start hearing talking, conversation. I'm like, I'm plugging it, and I'm hearing, and I plug it back in, and I hear a conversation. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So we started asking questions. I said, what's your favorite? The rumor is that it was actually not a rumor, but it was a mob house. There was somebody in the mafia that was there, and he had killed someone. Somebody was killed in the house, right? So automatically you think and they have like a speakeasy upstairs, right?
Yeah.
But right away, I'm half Italian, so I'm like loving this, right? So I go upstairs and I just kind of poke a little bit, you're like, La Costa Nostra, where you're saying, what's your favorite Frank Sinatra song? And you hear, I did it my way.
Wow, no way.
I was live the whole time on Facebook. So anybody can go back and watch this. Yeah. And it's, you want a shot of something? Because there was actual people there. Thank God I was investigating. Because I'd have been. So I'm like, you want me to get you a shot of something? And here, whiskey.
It's actually communicating with you for your answers, and it's relating to what's within that bar.
And there's no radio, nothing. There's no radio signal going to that frequency at all. So it can't be this blip in the radio because with ghost boxes, I think it's up to your own interpretation, of what you hear. I have trouble hearing anything. Now people have gotten some good. I think I might have had 3 or 4 good ghost box responses that were kind of like so direct. Like, how could it not be something? It's either like it's not just like this. Whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's so noisy.
Yes, that's why I blindfolded and headfolded. I do the Estes or Gansfield method with ours.
So listen to this. We did this. You should watch the video because we did an experiment with that. I don't know exactly what they had, but we had 2 people that one person went on the floor, one person went in the basement. They had the headphones on. They didn't have to be blindfolded because they were down there by themselves.
Yeah.
And they put this headset on that had the Estes going, and a microphone that came in here. They both were connected to 2 different speakers that we had in front of us. So every time they said something, we could hear what they were saying.
Perfect.
And we were all upstairs asking questions. And I was writing down the one girl's responses, and somebody else was writing down the other ones.
Yep.
And one of the girls had said, what is your name? And the girl goes, Charlie. Well, the guy that owned the mansion originally way back in the day was Charles Archer. But the answers, and you could tell some of the answers that were coming out were vulgar. I mean, you could tell that it was mafia. But yeah, I mean that I'd be interested. That DRV thing was pretty interesting, but just record with just a recorder and myself.
See, I love a glass and marble.
So
a glass and marble. So wine glass.
Victorian method.
Going all Victorian. I love a Victorian method.
Well, I don't know about this.
Oh, okay. A wine glass with a marble inside.
Yeah.
And I always say to our guests, if you pay to push that glass around, that's up to you. But you can't push that marble inside. And if the glass has stood still, and we've had it many of times, their fingers on the glass, and I normally tend to put their fingers up. Oh God, up that way. So it's harder to push the glass.
Right.
And we then ask the spirits obviously to draw that energy inside the glass, get to that little glass marble and move that marble. And we've had the marble chinking from side to side, going round in circles with the glass stood still.
Glass or a shot glass as well,
can't
you? Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
some places trust people, don't you?
It is a very trusting thing, but that's why I always say, if you want to push the glass around, you can do that all night long. But you can't push that marble around because it's inside the glass. Yeah. And if the glass has stood still and the marble's moving, what's moving it? Yeah. And there's no magnet. They've picked their table. So
yeah.
And that's I like that. I want to try that. I like the old school stuff. Like I'll throw if I can, if I'm at a location where I can do it, I'll throw baby powder on the floor.
Yeah, flour. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I rate the baby
table tipping.
What's wrong?
Have you done table tipping? It's the
No.
Victorian methods.
No.
I mean, if you do it with your fingernails and you stood up, and we also had a vibration box on the table, and this is in Wimmera Manor last weekend, and you can tap around it and the lights will go off because it'll feel the vibrations. But the tapping that was coming the weekend was actually on the plastic on top of the box, and it was hammering away like someone was pressing it with their finger.
Like, what is this?
Fingernails were like that on the table, and the table's moving and levitating. But I do believe you do have to. It's easily influenced. It is. But when it goes and you go with people that you trust, it's like,
right.
If you trust your own senses, then why
Yeah.
would you not want to try and trust that the table will move by spirit? You know,
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody,
did look a good one.
I saw somebody ask a question up here about Taryn, apart from Gettysburg, where is your favorite place to investigate? And is there any places you had not been that you want to go?
That's from Abby. She's one of our VIP guests. She loves her weekdays with us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Favorite place? Did she say other than Gettysburg? Yeah, we can't. Gettysburg is in its own category. We can't, because that is my most favorite place.
It's in the gold category.
Aside from that, it's Rolling Hills Asylum in New York.
Nice.
I love it. I've only been there once, but I had so much happen to me there, visually, physically, hearing, so many things I couldn't explain. And it was amazing. It was Penhurst is a close second, because Penhurst kind of, I don't know. I always hear disembodied voices and this and that, but Rolling Hills definitely is amazing. If anybody ever gets a chance to ever go there.
What about anywhere that you haven't been in America or anywhere in the world?
I was just thinking about this because I feel like, my answers are like kind of general, but I definitely, and I know they're not doing it anymore, but the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. I would love to investigate there for sure. And as far as out of this country, because there's millions. Even Italy, like I would love to go to Italy. Pompeii, places like that. And then the UK. There's something about being on a location, on the land, even when it's that old.
Country.
You just automatically feel it.
That's kind of the question that I was going to have. Like, so I believe in the stone tape theory. What are your beliefs? Obviously, how they communicate. Obviously, is it stone tape? Is it anything else?
I'm sorry.
And so, do you believe? I believe in the stone tape theory. So obviously, where like the ground and the walls share a memory with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Is that kind of something that you believe in, or is it another theory that you believe in?
No. So here, I guess we would call that residual.
Yep.
So it's almost like a recording. The Earth has made a recording.
Perfect. Yep.
So the spirit energy that's there.
Yeah.
If that is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't know we're there, but we see them.
Yes.
If you look up Brad Kling, he used to be with Ghost Lab, the show Ghost Lab.
Yeah.
If you look up his video of Gettysburg that he caught, he literally caught a natural recording with a digital recorder, like a camera, which to me blows my mind. But it was a full regimen walking across the field, and they were there once.
It's how I always kind of explain to our guests. If Aunt Peg did her washing on a Wednesday, you might capture Aunt Peg doing her washing on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You might smell, instead of seeing it, you might smell the washing powder. And that's what I love, just the memories that they can share that can be shared with us. It's awesome.
I refuse to think that when you're dead, you're dead. I can't imagine everything in us, the love, everything just disappears into the nothing.
Right.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah. And at this point in time, I've had too many experiences. Like, what is it? Right? We can't necessarily say it's a go, because what is it? Maybe there's another dimension we don't know about. Maybe there's so many possibilities. As humans, we put labels on everything, right? So we have ghosts, we have a Bigfoot, we have whatever. But is that really what it is? We just call it that.
Yeah.
Is it EVP really an EVP? Or what is it?
Yeah.
Something that we just call.
Yeah. It's something like one of our fellow investigators, Jamie, he's very big of what's a coincidence. Is it a coincidence? What is a coincidence? Is it not a coincidence? And I'm a very bigger, again, what is a coincidence? Because if it happens once, fine. Twice, okay. 3, that's not a coincidence.
Right. Yeah. And also, get about Gettysburg, like you would think it would be more residual because of the massive amount. 50,000 casualties in 24 hours. I mean, that's a lot. Yeah. But most of the EVPs that I've gotten from Gettysburg have all been intelligent.
Right.
All intelligent answers. I was at the 20th Maine Monument, and I asked if you were from Pennsylvania, and you hear, no, Maine.
Brilliant. It's like, no, like, yeah.
And I said Pennsylvania, thinking globally, not thinking I'm at the 20th Maine Monument, and asked, are you from Maine? And I gotten, that's a little bit somebody could argue that. But I said, are you from Pennsylvania? And you hear, no, Maine. I'm like,
oh, you cannot dismiss that at all. That's brilliant. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So we're thinking the New England road trip. We'll hit Gettysburg. Is it on the way to the Lizzie Borden house, Amityville, Hinsdale, Rhode Island Conjuring House, and then we'll hit Salem. Maybe
so you'd go up. You would go up.
Yeah, Headless Horseman. Is that a true story? Where
Probably
was the Headless Horseman?
I don't believe in the Jersey Devil either.
No. Is that the person that eats people?
Jersey Devil?
Yeah.
I have not heard that.
I think they eat something. The Jersey Devil.
That would probably that might be like some people that live in the woods that might do that. That's why but it's the Pine Barrens. In New Jersey we got the Pine Barrens, and the Pine Barrens number one was a drop off and buried bodies for the mafia, because it's such a big up and all along. In New Jersey you got the Pine Barrens. You have no idea what's in there, right? But there's the Jersey Devil is supposedly this winged ugly thing that is like a cryptid, basically.
A cryptid,
like a Mothman or a whatever. And I don't believe in it. I think that a woman had a baby that was deformed, and I think the myth kind of grew from there. And that's it.
And then again, sorry, Sarah, you go.
No, go ahead.
What about witchcraft and voodoo? Do you believe in any of that?
I do. I one time I'll tell you this really quick. One time I took a class to learn mediumship. And in this class, we paired up with people that we didn't know. And I'm holding this girl's hand. And I just start saying things. All this stuff is like coming. And I'm seeing this woman in my head. And I'm describing this woman. And, I'm like, oh, she felt like what she was doing, was it going to affect her? Whatever she did caused her death. I said it wasn't suicide. It wasn't drugs. And I'm like saying all this stuff. And she's just stone cold face looking at me. And I'm like, all right, you got to give me something. Like, does any of this make sense? I mean, I see what you're doing and I get it, but I got to know something. Say yes or no. And she said, yeah, everything you said, I can completely confirm down to, because I had said to her, I started seeing like a blue and a pink heart there together. And this woman feels like she's stuck behind. But anyways, so she goes, I know exactly who it is. And I said, who? I said, my mom. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, well, when did she pass? She says, oh, no, she's still alive. And I'm like, what? She said, I was adopted by my grandparents when I was 3 years old, because my mother, up until that point, was a part of a legit black magic cult or voodoo, something like that. And she said that once she turned, this is what she was told by her grandparents. Once she turned about like 1.5, the mother was trying to get out of this cult, this black magic cult. And they said, fine, you can go. But you've already paid for us to have your soul, basically.
Right.
And I guess she didn't really take that serious. So now, again, this is just been told to me. So I don't know if this is actually a true story, but, and she said that after that, it was probably about a couple of weeks later that they think maybe they actually don't medically know what happened, but she couldn't talk, she couldn't walk, she couldn't feed herself, she couldn't do anything. She was like mentally gone.
Gone.
So they had to put her in an institution, and her grandparents had to adopt her. Now, during this reading, I was saying, I see a black top with a chain link fence. She's behind this fence, and she goes, "You described where she's at." I said, "That's too close for comfort for me. Mm-mm. I'll talk to somebody that died all day long. I don't like that. That's a little too close for me to with all that stuff. Because I do. I believe in the Egyptian curses, and I believe in I believe in all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
it was mold. It was mold in the Egyptian curses. It was mold that killed her.
Brilliant.
So yeah,
that's awesome. It's weird. It's creepy, but it's weird, and I love it. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
witchy. Maybe you're a bit of a witch.
So I am. One of my best friends is a witch, and I'm learning that I do have a lot of the same. I don't know what you call it. I mean, nature. I love nature. I mean, I go to Gettysburg to literally meditate and cleanse my soul. It literally.
You like lay on the floor and feeling at Earth, feeling at Mother Earth, basically.
Yeah, there's this spot I go, which is going to be closed for 18 months. I don't know what I'm going to do. Come the 18th month, I'm going to be a shit crazy. Somebody's going to put me into an asylum because I can't go anywhere to
we'll find you. We'll come and get you.
But yeah, there's a spot there, and I lay on. There's a rock I lay on, and I've fallen asleep on that rock for 2 hours. I wake up 2 hours later, like, what the heck is going on? But I think of nothing. It's the most peaceful moments that I've had there,
Yeah.
And I love nature. I love nature. Love it, love it, love it. And I don't believe in organized religion.
No.
I believe in higher power. I believe that, there's archangels and there's,
Yeah.
But I believe that the earth has cleansing. I mean, even when I try to ground myself, all I think about is root going into the ground and
entwining things. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's brilliant.
Rosie.
Yeah.
We've had over an hour of Taryn's time now.
Bless you.
And we were going to ask you the favoritism question. So, Rosie, I think you should ask the first one, and then I'm going to take it to another level. So, you go first, Rosie.
That's a normal one with the B word as well.
The normal one
with the B word. So we ask obviously females the male question, and we ask the males the females question. So we always ask, who is your favorite male investigator of all time, other than Brian, because I know he's watching, so we've got to throw him in there. So who's your favorite male investigator of all time?
Of all time. I mean, I would have to say, because I hold the same views and the same investigating everything, it would have to be Jason Halls.
Yeah, I like that. The Holy Grail.
Yeah, he really is. He is. I mean, he's down to earth, but he's also realistic. Not everything's haunted. Not everything's, I mean, it's very rare that any, and the way they investigate, the way he investigates, the way he runs his teams, he's great. I love him.
Some perfect answer. I'll take that. I like that. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Right. I've got a completely off the wall question for you now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is.
I love off the wall questions.
It's the end of the world. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have been chosen by aliens. You've been beamed up, and you've been plonked down on a planet, and you're the first Eve, and you're on your very last couple of eggs, and you have to choose to copulate with one of these males. Now, your choices are Brian Laverty. Now, humanity.
Wait. So it's Brian or Lex?
Oh, Brian or Lex, and the future of humanity depends on your uterus, and you've got to choose your madam. So who is it going to be?
Oh, this is brilliant. Why have you got asked this before?
The world of Sarah is ever so crazy. Never try and get in this mind, I tell you.
I love you, Lex, but I'm going with Brian.
Oh,
Brian's going to be my baby daddy.
He's going to be your Adam if you get abducted by aliens.
Oh, that
was all in jest.
Yeah. Brian would have to be my baby daddy for sure. That's who I procreate with. I love Lex to death, but
brilliant. So they're going to like Brian with your hair. That's perfect.
Yes. And now
humanity depends on it.
Right. Yeah. I would have to. Right. I mean, I love Lex. Don't get me wrong. Now look. So now I'm the producer of their show, and now Sunday comes along, and if Lex hears this, Brian's like, "Why did you think about that?" Because I'm trying to be nice.
Next, I'll say, "Yeah, but I've got all my hair. Why didn't you pick me?" And I'm younger.
True. But I'm older.
Oh, David 25.
I could be a cougar if I was like, that would just be frowned upon, I think, up there.
Sarah's a cougar.
I'm 43. I think about it. I think, am I? Yeah, I am. And my husband's 7 years younger than me.
Well, yeah. I'm not a cougar. I'm a sugar baby.
Yeah. You will be after Brian.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was great.
Again.
You guys are awesome. Even if we don't do a show, I'd love to do just like a video chat.
Yes.
Just to say hey.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And if you're ever in the UK, you got to look us up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually have awesome friends over there. They have a band, but they're in Liverpool. I don't know where that's at. Where you guys?
About 3.5 hours away from us. Maybe 4. 3.5 on a good day.
Yeah. So I talked to them. They're going to actually allow me to use their music for Paranormal Brew and stuff. And so it's King Voodoo. I'm going to give a shout out.
King Voodoo.
UK. King Voodoo.
We're going to have a listen.
Yeah, they're awesome. But yeah, definitely. I'd love to talk to you guys again.
Definitely.
That's brilliant.
Getting my balls busted.
Okay.
Brilliant. Wow. Well, thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and if anybody has, I mean, I didn't get to see all the questions. I see Brian called me a procrastinator, so I'll have to have that fight because I'm not.
If Taryn, is it Taryn?
Taryn, yep.
Taryn, sorry. Obviously,
it's almost like Taryn, but with a T.
Yeah. Obviously, if Taryn didn't answer any of the questions, I'm sure she might go through, give them a quick answer, or give them like a little thumbs up or anything like that. So it's hard to get everybody's questions in.
Yeah. And there's loads more we want to ask you as well, but we don't want to take up too much of your time.
It means we get to get you back on.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I got time, so whatever you guys, this is your show. So whatever you guys want to do,
we'll get Sarah or Nando to sort a date out. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll line up a few more. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching, and thank you, Taryn, for your
Oh, you're
time.
welcome.
Thank you.
Make sure you watch Taryn's podcast, and we'll dive in a bit more into Taryn's world next time. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.